Hello, Kelly here with Kelly's Stroke of Life. And it has been a while since I made my last video. And I and there's just lots of reasons why that is. But the main reason is that my youngest son graduated in May from community college and decided to transfer to a 4-year college. And so he did that over the past, several months, and just now moved on to campus in this new college. So he's transferred in as a junior and it's a school close to here, luckily. And so he's, able to come home on the weekends, and, we can go visit him. But it's a big step for him because he has some challenges. And so just this change for him and this step into kind of adulthood for him has been just really a momentous time for all of us, for me and my husband, and for him and for his older brother and sister as well. Even though they've been through this, they are very, supportive of him, and they want to make sure that he is experiencing life and enjoying himself as well. So it's been a definite transformation for all of us, and it has been just a new step for me because I'm the first time truly an empty nester. My oldest son went off. He was the first one to leave, and he went off to college several years ago. He went off to college in 2017, maybe, or 2017. Went to college for a year and decided it wasn't for him, and is now in the Army. And he's been in the Army for the past 7 years. My daughter she stayed at home and went to community college after she graduated from high school, and which was 2 years later, after my oldest son. And then graduated from the community college, got a job and worked there, got an additional certification in her area. She's in avionics. And so then moved out, after that, after she kind of got her certification, had worked for a few years, and felt like that she was ready to kind of make the move into her own place. And so she stayed on a little bit longer than usual. And then my youngest son, again, stayed home and went to community college after he graduated and I homeschooled all my kids. And so that has made the transition very transformative as well, because I was used to having them home all the time. And then, so now it's the first time in many, many years that I am on my own, that I'm doing things and on by myself. And my husband is still working, and has works from home now. And so, but it's just the two of us now, and it's not been the two of us for a very long time. So it's definitely been a transition, and going through this transition, getting all of these things done, helping him with this transition into college has been a big thing. And there's been lots of changes with my oldest son was on deployment and came home, and so I got to be there for him when he got home. And my daughter is having some transformations in her area as well. So it's been a definite year so far of changes. But I think the last part of the year is going to be a little bit more calm, because my youngest son will now be going to college. His classes are all set. He's got some really good professors, and he's in the music program, and so he's taking a lot of classes that he really enjoys. So I think these last few months of this year are going to be, changes, but it's going to be kind of a new, I don't want to say a new normal, but a new way of life, and things are going to there's going to be some. I'm going to have some things, some opportunities, things that are opening up for me to do more things, that I've wanted to do for myself. So that brings me to the ways that I've been doing my videos the last couple of months, or a few moon cycles, because I did start out doing the moon cycles and studying things each moon cycle. And so the things that I have done each moon cycle, I've picked a deck, an herb, a crystal, and a book. And so I've done like a deep dive study into those four things for that moon cycle. And it worked really well. And I have so much enjoyed what I have been learning, and I've been able to go deeper in these areas and really just learn a lot more about herbs, a lot more about crystals, a lot more about the decks that I've been doing, and so the and also the books I've been reading have been really fascinating, and I've read some really good books. And so I thought that I would keep going with this Leo new moon cycle that we just went through, and now we're of course in Virgo new moon cycle. But that with that Leo, it just seemed things kind of shifted. There was just a lot of shifting that went on in many, in life, and so it kind of filter down or filter through that new moon cycle. And I worked with that moon cycle. I worked with Kiwi Jasper, and you can see that video. I've done that video, and I also worked with the herb of turmeric, and you can see that video that I've done. And they were all fascinating, and both fascinating, and just had such fun working with them. And then I've been working with the deck, the Unicorn's Journey Tarot, and it's been just a really fun deck to work with, and I've had a lot of fun working with it. But I started reading a book, and it's a book that I've had for a while, and it's called Lunar Abundance, and I believe the author is Ezzie Shepard, and it's a book, and it also has a workbook that goes along with it. And I thought, oh, this will be great. It'll be, something fun. I can do the book, I can do the workbook along with it. But I started reading the book, and while it is an excellent book, it is just not one that resonated with me. It was one that just I felt like that was doing too much, that I felt like that I already uh, gone past, that I had already done a lot of the practices that were in there. I knew very much about the moon cycles and very much about the moon phases, and I'm very familiar with them. I work with them every day. And so I felt like it was something that was just not for me right now. And so I just I read a few of the chapters, and I thought, this is my work, the things that I'm doing for myself, and I want to make it for myself. I don't want to do something that's going to not feel good, and because that's not the point of these things. I want maybe to be challenged, but not to do things, not to read books or work with decks or crystals or herbs that didn't make me feel like there was a reason for doing it. And the books were just ones that didn't work for me. So I put them aside, and I thought, I'll just give myself the chance to make this shift. And along the way, I decided not to really go by the moon cycles anymore, but to go by the months. And I felt like that this just worked better with just for me, just to be able to go to the new month when September begins and work with whatever it is that I have. So I made that shift. And so I kind of just kept on with what I was doing with the Leo new moon cycle. And I'm just going to work with those things until the next couple of days for August to end. And then I'm going to start in September with the Virgo new moon cycle items that I have planned out for at the beginning of the year. And and while I have, and I think that was part of the lunar abundance, that the book and really working with the moon, is that I realized that the moon, working with the moon, has become just kind of second nature to me. It's something that, I always know where the moon is. I always know where the moon cycle is. I have an app on my phone that tells me where it is. I plan my weeks with the moon and where the moon is in the moon cycle. I look for it that day when I start my day. I look, where the moon is, what effect that it may or may not have on my work for the day, things that I might want to do or might not want to do. And so it's something that's already ingrained in me. And so it's something that I really wanted to shift and say, okay, well, now I want to still work with these things, and how can I now work with those items, but in something that makes more sense to me. And shifting it into the monthly schedule just made more sense to me, and just seemed to call to me right now, and saying that these last few months, work with these items in within that month period. And I just felt like that was what was is going to work for me. And so in September, around the 1st of September, you'll see the new things come out, the new items come out. You'll see the new items on, in the description box, in the YouTube videos. I have some things in the Cauldron where I have put all the PDFs and all the resources for you to find there. So you'll find all those new things there. And I'm going to have some new things coming up in the month, since I will have some free time, and there's things that I want to do during the month that will be fun for me, and I hope fun for you and helpful to you. And so the first thing I want to do is I want to really go back and start incorporating Lenormand into my practice. I did a lot of studies with Lenormand, and I want to bring that practice back. I love Lenormand cards. I have lots of decks. I have books on Lenormand. I've taken classes, and and as much as I love tarot, and nothing will ever take the place of, my beloved tarot deck, I do like the different aspect that Lenormand brings into readings, and the different ways that you can use Lenormand cards. So I want to bring that back, and I'm going to go and use Raina George's book, The Essential Lenormand, this book, and I'm going to do some lessons using her descriptions of the cards, plus, things that I have learned about the cards, using them in my own readings. And then she's got several different types of readings at the end of the book. Like here, she has the cross spread. And so going back and looking and studying the cards, and then adding one of those readings in with the cards that we are studying, and then looking at how Lenormand, and looking at different ways that you can use Lenormand as a practice in and of itself, or that you can use Lenormand and combine it with different ways. How can you combine Lenormand and crystals? How can you combine Lenormand and astrology? How can you combine Lenormand and tarot? How can you use Lenormand in different kinds of readings, with runes, with oghams, with whatever that you happen to be doing. And so I want to bring in some of those things in ways, and ways that I've already used Lenormand, and share those things, but then maybe discover some new ways of using Lenormand, and share those things with you. So those classes, it's going to be called Lessons with Lenormand, and they'll be coming out, and I'll have a schedule. And I didn't put specific times or dates on it. I just kind of put classes. So I'm hoping to do one a week, but I don't know that I'll be able to do one a week. I'm going to really try to because I really want to have it consistent. But I'll have it all of that for you, the information for you, and the sheet that you can download and look at. And if you want to follow along, it will have the book in it that you can use and follow along. If you just want to grab some cards and follow along with the lessons here, or however you want to do it, you can make your own cards. You can make your own Lenormand cards because there's 36, and they're have just the symbols on them, and so you can just have the symbols and the title and the number, and you might want to put the playing card correspondence if you want, but you can just it's very easy for you to follow along and to do it yourself. And so I think Lenormand, that's going to be really fun. So look for that. I'll have the information sheet PDF that you can download here in the description box for this video, and then hopefully next week I'll start with the introduction, but I'll try to announce it and try to put it in different places so that you can find it and you can see it on Facebook or Instagram, so you'll know to come over here and find it. But the best way to do that, of course, is to subscribe, and so you'll get notifications and you'll know when the new videos come out. And two other things that I'm hoping to do this month is to do a Reiki healing session and have that on the site so that you can come and you're feeling that you need some healing, you can put it there. And if there's things that you would like for me to just remember in a Reiki healing, then you can also contact me that way. You can email me or text me, and I will put that in, my Reiki healing and not share it, but you can share it with me. But it will be in the Reiki healing, and it'll be a group that you can come to. And hopefully, I'm hoping to do it live, but I'm not quite sure if I'm going to be able to do it live or not. But I'll let you know how that's going to go. And I'd also like to do some group readings and just some you come in, you drop in, have the live, the YouTube channel open. You can come in, drop in, I'll pull a card for you and just do that live. So I'm going to try that and see how that goes. And again, I'll let you know. It'll probably be towards the later part of September that I'll schedule those two. But those definitely, because Reiki is something that I very much enjoy doing. And, I'd like to share it with you as well. And of course, tarot is something that I love as well. And, you can come in and, ask a question, get a card, get a reading. And that will be, I think just, a fun time to do. So again, there'll be lots of information coming out, as the month goes on. And I'm also going to be working with some new items. And these were the ones that I picked for the Virgo new moon. So I'm just going to shift that all into September. So the crystal that I'm going to be working with is hematite. The book that I'm reading is The Goddess and the Shaman by J.A. Kent. The deck I'm going to be working with is called the Boudica's Tarot. And then I'm going to be working with the herb tobacco. And I know that tobacco is something that is very much, there's a lot to it. And I almost didn't pick it because I thought there's too much just that goes into it. But one of the things that I've wanted to do with these 4 items that I've been working with is to go deeper, into history, into ancestor practices, into different kinds of practices, into different ways that these things are are part of specific practices and how they are maybe used in other practices, and and how it works for me, because tobacco definitely has, is definitely part of my history and part of my ancestry, and there may be healing that needs to be done around that. And this is, I think, a way for me to do that and to find out and to be open to that. And so those are the four things that I'm going to be working with. And I'll have some of course, information and PDFs and videos and ways that I've been working with all of these four things for the month of September. And I'll have what I've been working with in this past for August in this video. And then I'll have, when the first video comes out in September, I'll have all of this information there. So if you're interested in the book or if you're interested in the tarot deck, you can definitely find that and follow along. So I think that is it for now. The next I'll be doing, since I didn't do a book per se for this month or this moon cycle. I won't have a video for that, but I will have a video in the next couple of days about the Unicorn's Journey Tarot, because I do want to talk about it. I want to share that with you because I do think it's a great deck. It's very accessible. It's very beautiful. And it's something that if you love story in tarot, if you love something that has a little bit of a different take to the tarot, or you like one that is very fantasy based, I think that this is definitely a tarot deck that you will enjoy. So that will be my next video and the last one for September, or for August, until we move into September, and then with all the new things that are coming out then. So just like, subscribe, and watch the other channel, my other channels too. I'll have links to those, my Facebook page and my Instagram page. I haven't done a whole lot with Instagram lately, but you can find me there. You can always, message me or whatever you want to do. But I'm hoping to share more of these things on Instagram in the coming months, and as September and the year goes on, and we move closer to the end of 2025. So thank you again for being here, and I hope that you follow along with any of these things. And if you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll be glad to answer any questions. And I will see you again in the next video. Bye.